See, okay, I misunderstood. I thought that
It's
I
okay,
thought
Tommy.
well in the quote too, because it says I quote, I need to call my lawyer right now and sue someone. This is great. I'm gonna get paid today. So
Oh
that
yeah,
gets
no, it's okay. It
saying
is
I
a
need
lot
to
of
sue
Yeah.
words.
someone.
So
Yeah.
there's some words above those words.
Wow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie Toast Movie News. I am joined by my ever so favorite co-host, Mr. Tommy Brosine,
Hello.
and our new permanent co-host, Mr. Dennis Korn.
Hello, hello. Welcome. What the fuck was that? Thank you for having me, and welcome you.
And this is Dennis's last show because he's screwed everybody out.
I'm just fucking drunk all the time, so.
So wait, who are we missing?
Corey.
Oh,
I think he's
Melvin
stuck at
himself.
work. Yeah, so maybe he might
Had
join in
diarrhea.
later. No, he did not.
he didn't shart on the way to work.
Oh,
Nope.
you, Tommy. Why are you talking about this, right? That's disgusting. Nobody wants to hear about shardy misadventures.
God damn it, Tommy. Are you trying to tell us that you showered it before this episode?
I can honestly say that's never happened to me.
Well, you're a lucky young man with good bowels.
Yeah.
Okay, Tommy, so what's the first news story of the week?
All right. Are they filming more of the Snyder Cut? For those of you that aren't in the know, the quote unquote Snyder Cut is in reference to the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Zack Snyder was the original director, signed on for Justice League, and then he was cut, right?
No,
Just
well,
before
it was a two-part movie, and he shot the first part, but right as he was in post, his daughter
Right,
committed
before
suicide, so he left,
Yeah.
and Zack Snyder was then replaced with Josh Whedon, who pretty much gutted the movie and refilmed 90% of it, the rumor is.
Right. And so now it's been teased that he made his own cut of the movie, and that Warner Brothers is actually, they like paid him to recut the movie.
Now that's supposedly a rumor.
Yes.
That they gave him $15 million to
Right.
shoot a few more scenes, but
Yeah.
supposedly none of this is actually able to be proven.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He had a contest for people to make a fan-made poster for the Snyder Cut. He basically gave them a slate, and written on the back of the slate, it said, please extend to the bearer of this slate the right to pass all security protocols and the permission to operate this motion picture scene and sync marker on the set of any additional photography for the motion picture known as Zack Snyder's Justice League in the unlikely and purely speculative event that such photography is needed.
It can be inferred from the statement you just made. So no one's actually got this yet. This is more, if it were to happen, this is what he's going to do as the grand prize. So he hasn't actually given anything away. Should this happen, that is what he's going to do for that.
I thought he already gave it. I misread the article. See what happens when I read the articles, Adam? I misread them.
Oh, what
and
a
then misquote
letdown.
them.
Tommy, stop reading and just
I will
fast forward.
stop.
All right, so Tommy, what's the next story?
Edgar Wright has a baby on board again.
Woohoo.
So for those of you that are continuing to scratch your head, let me explain Adam's cryptic intro to this article. Edgar
You
Wright.
really hate my headlines, don't you?
No, I love them. So Edgar Wright was director, screenwriter, the first movie called Baby Driver. And so now the second one is officially happening with the original director, and the cast are all coming back. It's been talked about ever since the movie came out in 2017 and why they've waited this long. I never saw the first one. That might be something for me to add to my list
Oh,
of movies.
definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just need to find out where to watch it. I might be able to find it on demand, but it got such a huge. I mean, it made 226 million at the global box office with only a budget of 34 million.
Yeah.
So that right there is huge, and the fact that we're waiting 3 years now for the sequel, something's going on.
He's been working on some other stuff, and I'm sure it's a matter of that movie was good enough. It's like I would honestly believe in a little bit of apprehension to just rush out and make a sequel. He's had the script for a year.
Yeah.
It's there. It lives. It exists.
Right.
Yeah, and
We're just waiting to get it going.
Like Dennis was saying, he does have another movie coming out soon, And
Last Night in Soho.
Pretty much, yeah. He doesn't want to rush it and just make some shitty movie for the hell of it. Like he said when the last one came out, they've approached him, but he wanted to get the story just right. And if you've seen the movie, you haven't, but music plays a big part in it. And like he kind of like with Guardians of the Galaxy, but a little bit further on than that. So maybe you had to choose the right music to go with it. And...
I won't skip the songs, I promise.
Oh yeah, you definitely can't. Definitely can't do it in that movie.
Yeah. I won't. If you think about it too, I was just thinking about this. There's a lot of movies that fans have had to wait 10 plus years for the sequel. So it's only 3 years. That's actually not that bad. Do you think it'll be as successful as the first one, or do you think it could have the sequel syndrome that a lot of sequels
I don't know. I think the fact that it's already Edgar Wright and the fact that it's Baby Driver 2, that
Same
alone
cast.
is probably going to make the money back in the first couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
People just want to go see it
enough.
based on that fact.
Yep.
Alone.
That alone will make the money back.
Yeah, I love everything Edgar Wright's done pretty much. And Baby Driver was his first American movie and it was great. So yeah. He's more of he's a UK based director. He started doing a television series with Simon Pegg and
Nick Frost.
Yeah, which was called Space.
He directed Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
The World's
Him and
End.
Simon Pegg wrote it. Yeah, it's called the Coronado trilogy.
Okay.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, him.
He did all those
movies.
Hot Fuzz.
Yep.
Shaun of the Dead, The World's End. He did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I still haven't seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the
man.
World. I need to watch that.
Some people don't like it, but it's great.
Baby
I think that's a Netflix
style. It's just, oh my God, yeah.
All right, I got my assignment.
Film school kids movie, that's for
Baby
sure.
Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Mulan with the songs. Got it.
Don't forget Lilo and Stitch.
And Lilo and Stitch. All right, I got my
busy week ahead of you, Tommy.
Yeah. I'll see if I
30-minute segments of some badass movies. I'm sorry, there's no Steven Spielberg working on the next Indiana Jones. At least that seems to be the truth so far. He's going to step down from the director's chair at the very least and be a heavily involved producer. Instead, helming the film is going to be Oscar-nominated director James Mangold, who just directed Ford vs. Ferrari. He's also won an Oscar for Walk the Line, directed Night and Day and The Wolverine.
Yeah, he did Logan too, right?
Yep. Yes, sir. This is, clearly a AAA talent. They can totally trust in doing this type of thing.
Spielberg did the same thing with Jurassic World. He handed it over to Colin Trevorrow. So
yeah. This far down the line, why not? It's got to still be interesting for him. Otherwise, I think we're just going to start getting shitty movies from Steven Spielberg.
I hear that.
Who wants that?
Nobody. But hey, good news though. We still got Harrison Ford attached to Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah. It's like, why not? I think at this point, you got to lean into it. If it's going to be Indiana Jones, then it's got to be Indiana Jones. Like, especially, they're not calling it a prequel. So let's see what this old Indy gets up to.
What's the next article?
Well, it sounds like Godzilla vs. Kong might be a smashing good time. There's been some test screenings of the Godzilla vs. Kong film, and apparently it's largely positive feedback. The director of the film actually posted to Instagram, "Yesterday was a great day for these two fellas," posting a re-edited poster of the 1962 King Kong vs. Godzilla to feature the modern version of the characters. He was very excited that they had some very positive feedback. It won't be too long before we get to see these two duke it out on the big screen.
Hey guys, do you think Daniel Radcliffe is ready to do some more Harry Potter?
He hates saying no to things, but it's not something he's rushing to do. But he likes where he is right now in life and the movies he's doing, as crazy as those movies are.
From his perspective, I feel like it's pretty understandable. I mean, the guy was locked into a movie series for 10 years of his life. And that was one of the first big features he starred in, and he didn't get to do hardly anything else. I could totally see him just wanting to keep having fun. I like seeing these different sides of Daniel Radcliffe. He doesn't need to be one note. He needs to keep trying all of the stuff he can.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well.
Seeing as we've just concluded the Skywalker universe of the Star Wars films, the next slated release for a Star Wars film is going to be 2022. And this is supposedly an entirely new trilogy of films, just giving us another perspective, another slice of life in the Star Wars universe.
It's a good thing to know that there's a new movie coming, and it's a whole different thing altogether than anything we've seen before. It worked with The Mandalorian. It worked with Rogue One. And I think it he could work with whatever the hell this might be.
I'm really hoping one of these ends up starting to tell the story of the Knights of the Old Republic. That's a property that, now that Disney has confirmed multiple times, is totally canon in their storyline, in their Star Wars universe. I think at some point they're gonna put their money where their mouth is and throw it on the big screen, so it's truly going to be canon and not going to be some reference, that you're going to have to go read about online to understand why we're talking about this old video game.
And not to be confused with Star Wars, The High Republic.
That's going to be a series of books, I believe.
Whatever Disney movie comes out in 2022, I'll be there. Hopefully we'll still be podcasting then too.
Yeah.
So Tom Holland has had meetings about a Back to the Future remake, and he is going on record saying, don't count on it, guys, because it's one of the most perfect films that could never be made better. And I couldn't agree more.
Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale have gone on record to say they will never permit Back to the Future to be remade or any more sequels. And I am in that camp. It is a perfect contained trilogy. The fact that we have the actually same director in all three movies, so you actually get the same feel. We can go to these different times and locations,
right.
But it's all done in the same voice.
Yes,
and it is a perfect. I agree. It is a perfect trilogy.
What's the next story here, guys?
Oh, you guys can take this one. I have no interest in this one. I didn't even read this one.
Well, it's kind of interesting because this is actually a conversation my girlfriend and I've had a couple of times.
Go for it.
So the new CEO has stepped up at Disney. Bob Iger was the previous CEO. He just recently announced he's stepping down from his position, at least made it publicly known through the rest of what he was contractually obligated to fulfill that role in the company. And it's a big deal. This is the guy who helped acquire Marvel. He helped acquire Star Wars. He helped push for Disney Plus becoming what it is. This is a guy who not only kept Disney at the forefront of some of the biggest entertainment pieces in the last several years, but he kept them making money throughout all this stuff. And taking his position, this is the guy who's been in charge of Disney Parks brand management. This is someone who's clearly going to have a very cohesive idea of how to keep these big projects alive. Iger isn't leaving. He's stepping down to a lower position, but he's still going to be creatively involved with Disney for quite some time.
Got it.
It's just nowhere near as much responsibility.
When did Iger take over? Like what? How long has he been?
I think it's been like 15, 20 years.
Yes, 15 years he's been at CEO. So if you can think everything Disney has touched in the last 15 years, this guy has been helping.
And not only that, even like opening up Disney Tokyo and like just every single thing that Disney's done, he's made a giant monopoly out of something that was kind of on the decline when he jumped in, and he's just turned everything around.
Yeah,
Fox, Marvel, Disney, Lucasfilm, like Dennis was saying.
Pixar.
Yeah, and
that's why he's staying right there. He's still going to be very heavily involved. It's refreshing to hear a company this big is still this concerned with the quality of the product they're delivering and not just how much money are they making. I like hearing these other parts. It sounds like they get excited about these things. We wouldn't be getting these big tentpole Marvel movies and Star Wars movies and stuff without somebody who is actually excited to bring these things to the forefront. keeping a well-oiled ecosystem alive. Understanding how all of these little parts,
if you ever want to read a pretty interesting book, he has a biography called The Ride of a Lifetime. I bought it. I've only read the first chapter so far, but it's really well written and just interesting things you'd never think about. Like he talks about back when there was the shooting at that nightclub in Orlando, about the fact that that almost happened at Disney and that they could go back and see the guy went to Disney with the weapons and he was ready to do it, but security was so ramped up that night, he wasn't able to do it. And that they have a database where they know where all their employees are at any one time. So if a tragedy happens, they know how to reach out and find them. It's crazy. And that's all in a couple of chapter.
Dang. Nice.
Did you guys talk about how Bob Iger stepped down from Disney?
No, what happened?
What?
Tell us about this.
You guys didn't talk about that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we did.
We literally, that was the last thing that we talked about. That was our weekly Walt Disney talk.
That's a good one. Anyway, you guys could just cut me out and pretend I was never here.
Oh, I think Adam's already planning it out in his head.
The post-credit sequence is happening right now.
Hey, wait, well, we got you here, Corey. How do you feel about Spielberg not doing Indy 5?
You heard it here, folks.
I feel like they shouldn't do it. Spielberg's not doing it. And I think Spielberg's not doing it because Disney got their grubby paws all over it now, and they booted Lucas from all their stuff. And Lucas is Spielberg's friend, and Spielberg's probably just over it. I just think that they shouldn't do it.
What if Shia LaBeouf's in it?
We don't need the beef.
You know, I thought
still don't do it.
You're a fan though, aren't you? You became a fan of LaBeouf.
Spielberg's my number one dad, so I'm not gonna.
He's still gonna produce it. He's still gonna be a producer.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
That's just a title.
I think he's still going to be involved. If his name's associated, I'm telling you right now, if his name's associated with it in any way, he's going to have some say in it.
His name was on Tintin.
We all saw how great that was.
Tintin.
What's your point?
Oh, it's not great, but it's an adventure.
So is it just like Dennis's audio's bad and now mine is too?
Oh, yours is even worse.
This?
No.
Okay, good. As long as I'm not the worst this week.
I joined on accident.
Where did you come from, Corey?
The can.
You sick fuck.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
Yeah, have a good week.
Take care, folks. Until next time, stay toasty.
Oh, stay toasty. That's
Stay toasty is awesome.
That's old shit right there.
And
I like
Corey knows all about gold shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's nasty.
Oh.
You keep your shitty butthole away from me.